live. Hey everybody, this is Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous, and welcome to this. Just what a wonderful day it's been today. But before we get into all of that, let's bring in Joey. How's it going, Joey?
Hey, how's it going? It has been a wonderful day. It's been a strange day.
It has been a very strange and wonderful day for many reasons, and I know a lot of people have been just going crazy and out of control because of the possible news that's been going around. But I am happy to be here to tell you that this news, that there is a possibility of more Twin Peaks coming, is not only possible, but probable.
Probable, you say?
I say probable. So, all right. Now, you did not know anything about the news out there today, right? So what did you think about it when you saw it?
I mean, I had seen the tweets from like a couple days ago, so I knew there was a little bit of groundswell, but
now the tweets your tweets you're talking about are the Hollywood Horror Museum tweets.
Yeah, those tweets.
And we talked about those on an earlier show where it wasn't just one tweet. I mean, they were putting 6 or 7 tweets down. And I've actually been in touch with them. They've confirmed to me that they don't know exact details of like what the story is or what the characters are, just that they know that something is coming. And a lot of people are giving them crap about it, saying, oh, you're just doing this for likes and all this stuff. But I've seen them post so many things before, not necessarily rumors and leaks, but they're a pretty reputable place, at least in the Twitter universe, and they have a lot of like horror people that are constantly liking their stuff and retweeting their stuff. So they're not just there to be an asshole.
They're just spreading the whispers, whatever they heard. They were just kind of sharing the wealth, I guess.
They got a little bit of crap too from people saying, oh, I hope you enjoyed having your Twin Peaks source when you had them, because now you burned the bridge and stuff like that. And they've flat out said, hey, this person said, didn't have a problem with us posting about it. So, but if you go back and look at the history of everything, we should have seen this coming. We absolutely should have seen this coming.
There's been a lot of highs and lows the past, I guess, 2 years.
Exactly. So, okay, so let me break this down for you guys, because there's a lot of you here watching. We already got 80 people watching us live, which is fantastic. It's so good to be talking Twin Peaks with a large crowd again. So
hear that.
Exactly. Okay, so let's break this down and explain why this is not only possible but probable. Okay, there are 3. Okay, today it's been a long day and there's just a lot of news to discuss. So this website, we got this covered, I believe it's called, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, they posted a story today that says Showtime looking to bring Twin Peaks back for another season. Well, of course, Showtime's wanting to bring that back for another season. They've been doing their marketing and their store for a while.
Showtime wants more money.
Well, absolutely. Who doesn't?
That's
and without a show on the air, their merchandise aspect of Twin Peaks probably is going down. That's why they branched out a little earlier. Remember a few weeks ago, they started asking for like T Public and other places to kind of drum up new merchandise. So anyway, this is coming off the Obnoxious Anonymous Facebook page, which if you haven't joined, please do. Okay, so they posted this thing saying Showtime's looking to do another season. Now, obviously, it doesn't say Lynch and Frost want to do another season. It says Showtime wants to do another season. That's not to say that Lynch and Frost are not involved if that happens, because they obviously have to, green light everything. Even if other directors come on to do something, they still have to approve it. Okay. So this is either one of 3 things. And they also say that there's going to be new Twin Peaks in 2020, which is coming up. All right. So this is one of 3 things, because neither Showtime, Lynch, Frost, Sabrina Sutherland, the executive producer, anybody affiliated with the show have commented on this officially or at all, really. So that's a plus right there. That nobody. I mean, this thing has gone further now than Amy Shields. Comic-Con Comic-Con
that Comic-Con
disaster that happened. So it's I guess I'm kind of lost for words at this second, only because I never expected to be in this moment today. I always thought the Twin Peaks would come back, but it would come back at a later date, not necessarily like announced today unofficially. And
September 30th, a Monday.
Right. Okay. So nobody has come out against this, right? And back in 2013, January 2013, when Ain't It Cool News dropped that David Lynch and Mark Frost pitched a new Twin Peaks season 3 to NBC, boom. I mean, within 24 hours, it was shut down. That whole story. This has not been shut down. Now, it's good for Showtime, right? I mean, because why shut down a trending topic, right?
Yeah, that hashtag is on fire again.
Yeah, and they, of course, would love Lynch and Frost to come back and do something. They would love it. Okay, so this is one of three things. If this 2020 declaration is that was discussed today, it's either not true. There's a lot of skeptical people out there who don't believe this is not true. They may be right. They absolutely may be right.
Yeah.
How many times have we thought, well, they're going to probably announce something soon, and they haven't? They're going to announce something right after the Emmys because they want to qualify for limited series.
Mm-hmm.
They'll announce something right after that, and they didn't. Right.
Nope.
So every time we got kind of set up for something, some news,
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. And nothing got more out of control than the San Diego Comic-Con night.
That was rough.
That was horrible. I mean, even the executive producer, Samir Sutherland, had to go on Facebook pages and say, don't get too excited, guys. And because Amy Shields, who played Candy in season 3, she said that there was going to be a big announcement at the Twin Peaks panel. And this was not just this was not the panel like when the show was on. This was the panel the year after the show was on.
Yeah. That was last summer.
Right. It was very peculiar that that they did this like reunion panel. Like what TV series does a reunion panel like a year after it airs? Right. So that's another sign, right, that they're trying to keep this in the zeitgeist. Then they've been going on these world tours. They went to Australia. They've gone these places, right? And it's like, why are we going on these world tours? I mean, yes, I understand there's Twin Peaks fans everywhere, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is a season of television here. And it's very good television, but it's still a season of television, right? So they're everywhere. Okay, so yes, this very well could not be true. And what's been great is watching all the fans out there in social media who do have ins with cast members and crew members, and they're all going out there saying, "Hey, this is just a rumor. We've talked to our contacts, and nothing's been confirmed. This and that." Well, one, they're not going to say anything to you, and second of all,
NDAs are a thing,
right? Exactly. And the other thing is, yeah, well, that's the big one. But I think some people think that they're best friends with some of these people when they're just like one of many people that they're constantly in contact with. And they can't say anything anyway. So anyway, sorry, I'm just tripping on my words. I apologize. We have the biggest audience we've had in a long time, and I'm totally just tripping on my words.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
But I'm hoping that everybody is just equally as excited as I am for this.
I think energy is high right now.
Yeah, my adrenaline is going through the roof.
Well, yeah, like you were saying, nobody really could say anything. Everybody probably has NDAs up the wazoo, especially after what happened with the filming of season 3 with a lot of leaks and the TMZ stuff.
Right.
They wanted to probably keep it.
Exactly. So the other thing is, let's be perfectly honest here. Most of the people in season 3 are not coming back for a season 4.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them. Yeah,
and I'm not talking about the sick people or the people who passed away. I'm talking about like that whole Las Vegas subplot storyline. That's done. Mitchum brothers, Candy, Sandy, and all of them, Dougie, Janie E. They're this done. That whole thing got wrapped up in season 3. There's no reason to go back to it.
Yeah, the other Dougie is with Janie E. and
right. That whole thing
was a happy ending.
Right. It got and Hutch and Chantel dead.
Dead.
Right. So all those people in the high-rise building that worked for Mr. C dead. Right. I mean, Mr. C gone as far as we're aware of. So it's like they've distilled it down to just Cooper or Richard or whatever you want to call him, and Laura Carey. They brought it back down.
Cooper, Richard, you have Carey, you have Laura Dern's character, and then
Gordon.
The ones that walk through the dark into the new,
Exactly. So they've brought it down to a smaller cast, and when you work with a smaller cast, especially when they are Kyle MacLachlan, Laura Dern, Cheryl Lee, and David Lynch himself, guess what? You're not going to have any leaks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, okay. So again, this could just be complete BS and just it could just not be happening. If that's true, don't get used to that, because Twin Peaks will eventually come back. It's too big of a name, it's too big of a brand. It will eventually come back at some point. Okay. So now let's go to the other two. Maybe it's just an announcement of something. Maybe in 2020, Lynch comes out and says, hey, I want to do a companion movie to Fire Walk with Me, but we're going to do it about Carrie Page. Okay. And either we're going to do it as a very limited 6 to 8 episode series, or we're going to do it as a movie for Showtime. But my theory is this. I don't think that if Twin Peaks comes back as a series, I don't think it comes back to Showtime. I think they're going to put it on CBS All Access and boost that channel up.
I mean, that's the only thing that's getting me to get that at this point.
Right. So I think if that's probably where it would head if they even go that direction. But I can see him doing a companion movie with Carrie Page, because he's been talking about Carrie Page quite a bit, actually. Mm-hmm. And also, we've been saying for a while that if they do come back, they need to do for Cheryl Lee what he did for Kyle MacLachlan in season 3 and really revamp her career back up and give her something to do, basically. Right. So either they come out and make an announcement, say in 2020, we're, in 2021, 2022, we're going to come out with the Carrie Page Chronicles or whatever it's going to be. You know what I mean? I don't think that's it. Now, the third possibility is that in 2020, next year, we're going to get more Twin Peaks. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, people might say, well, Cameron, it's ridiculous. How is that going to happen? It's October 2019. You're telling me in less than a year, they're going to have whatever it is, a movie, a show, whatever. Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you why.
All from all we know, they've been filming this whole year and we haven't had any idea. It's been pretty quiet. Right.
But even that, we'll get to that in a second. Fire Walk with Me was written, shot, and edited within 11 months. Okay. The finale of season 2 aired June 10th, 91. Fire Walk with Me premiered May of 92. So, and people consider that to be, Lynch's greatest masterwork. I don't, but a lot of people do. So that means he pulled off his greatest masterwork in 11 months, right? He could do it again. But here's what I think happened.
I believe him.
Here's what I think happened. I think they shot a lot of exteriors when they were up in doing season 3. Just like they did when they shot the pilot of season 1. And when you do that and you create all your exteriors, and I'm not talking about people walking down the street, I'm talking about just house exteriors and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, then you can recreate the sets anywhere. I mean, remember, the Palmer house was a set for all of season 1 and season 2.
I completely
agree. And how do you keep the leaks from going? you put everything on sound stages, everything in warehouses,
Yep.
Showtime owns the warehouses. All they have to do is go there and shoot it. Everything, the Great Northern Hotel, all that stuff, that was all set in seasons 1 and 2. Yes, I know for the pilot, they use real locations, but they went and recreated these things on sound stages. Mm-hmm. So they could have easily shot all the exteriors. Plus, don't forget, cinematographer Peter Deming was just up in Snoqualmie like 6 months ago, posting pictures of the falls, and people are like, what the hell are you doing there? I don't know. Maybe grabbing some B-roll footage of things. I don't know. So that's a possibility. So what I think is this: if you watch the season 3 behind the scenes, and by the way, I want to say thank you to the 152 people watching us right now. Wow. Means a lot. It truly does. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, because we talk Twin Peaks and David Lynch all the time here. And make sure to give the video a big thumbs up as well. I apologize for being kind of out of breath, but I'm sure, like you guys, our adrenaline is just going crazy. So I think that they shot the exteriors. They went up and shot some more, just whatever. And then they shot the rest of it on sound stages. Now, one of the things that if you watch the season 3 behind the scenes, what does Lynch complain about the majority of the time? Schedule. The schedule. The lack of time, the lack of schedule. Or there's a schedule, but he doesn't like the rushed part of the schedule.
No room to dream, as he says.
Right. You have no time to get dreamy, he says. Mm-hmm. How do you rectify that? You create an Inland Empire, not visual palette, but an Inland Empire style of shooting, which is to take 3 to 4 years and just do a little bit here and there. Okay?
When everybody has time.
And what did David Lynch say after the finale of season 3? He said, if there was going to be another season, it would take how long? 4 years. 3 to 4 years.
3 to 4.
Where are we right now next year? We're at the
3.
We're at the year 3. And what else is next year? It's the 30th anniversary of the original series.
And this is 3 years since, next year is going to be 3 years since the show, since season 3 ended. They finished filming it even before that. So you could say 4.
Right.
You could say 5.
And, okay, so the actors and some of the locations, believe it or not, have been under NDA all the way until 2019. Now, they could have been renewed. They could have been renewed, but let's say they were used at all until 2019. Well, that means they wrap this year, and that gives them a year to edit, and that's how long it took them to edit The Return. So now, I don't think, again, no matter what we get, I think you and I are probably on the same page that this isn't going to be another 18-hour epic. This is probably going to be it.
Yeah, I can't see that.
No. I think it's going to be a movie or a 6 to 8 episode, thing. But regardless of that, so the actors have been under NDA for a long time. Now, I also think that a lot of the actors are not coming back anyway. So I think they're going to keep it a smaller cast this time.
I like that.
I think season 3, even if people really loved it, you'd have to admit it was a sprawling cast. I mean, it was 200 plus people. Some people would say it's too big. So let's do something.
Yeah, well, like you're saying, the cast was massive. And now if he's getting dreamy about Carrie Page, he just needs, like you said before, he just needs, Kyle, needs Laura Dern, Cheryl, and then himself.
And Laura Dern is accustomed to shooting things like Inland Empire for him and taking 3 to 4 years to shoot it. Again, it's not every day, but around these people's busy schedules, he could say, hey, you know what? Why don't we shoot this?
Give me a day or two or something.
Give us a day or two over here. And so he is creating his own schedule, his own time. And so I bet you Showtime is like, you're going to give us whatever you're going to give us. Take your time. Also, the other thing is that people like Kimmy Robertson, who's pretty big on social media, has been quiet for a while. And there's another thing. So this magically, let me show you this here. Let's do this. Here is what Michael Horse posted today on Instagram.
No caption.
No caption, just a picture of Andy shushing my hawk, and a guy on the comments said, "Good thing these guys can't keep a secret." One of the great quotes.
That's a good one.
So anyway, also October 6th, 2014 is when season 3 was announced. That's a week away. So how do we build up anticipation? We start leaking things a week before. Build, and we drop it.
This is how marketing happens in 2019, by the way, where people are saying this is just rumors. Don't feed into this. This is how companies market in the this day and age. They put this stuff out themselves. They might give it to a low, maybe not as well known source like that website.
In fact, the majority of things that trend on Twitter are not trending because they're popular. They're trending because they're bought to trend.
Yeah,
seriously. Now, as far as I'm aware, Twin Peaks is not trending just yet, but the hashtags are going. They're flying like fire. Okay, so again, 3 options. It's not happening. They're going to announce it, but if they announce it, the only way I can see them announcing it is because even though Lynch may be in great health, they can't predict where he's going to be 2 years from now. So if they're going to announce it, they're probably going to announce, other directors coming in and doing it a la seasons 1 and 2. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that he's been spending the last 3 years in between his table making, shooting this whenever he and the cast had a moment, and they've been piecing this thing together.
I wouldn't be, and he probably could, get there within an hour drive of his house, probably less. Go shoot for a day and go back home.
And the other thing is, Cheryl Lee is not on social media, so she's not like Kyle MacLachlan. She can, no one can really track her, so they don't know where she's going, what she's doing, what she's filming, right? Now this will explain and actually make me feel a whole lot better about Kyle MacLachlan tweeting about Twin Peaks for the last 3 years. Because I adore Kyle, but sometimes I go, well, wait a minute, Kyle, you didn't talk about Twin Peaks for 20 plus years. And then all of a sudden, you tweet about it like 5 times a week now. But if he's filming season 4 or something akin to that, that would make sense. It would completely make sense. And I'll be happy because from what I understand, everyone who's seen his new Doctor show, they don't think it's going to last too long, but I have a feeling he's already shot all his scenes anyway, for whatever this is. But I'll tell you one thing. If it has to deal with the Twin Peaks larger mystery and not just an isolated Carrie Page story, I guarantee you know who's coming back? Chris Isaacs.
Oh.
And
He's actually going to be here soon. I might go see him.
please go see him. Chris Isaac is one of the great performers. He's great, and it's worth paying for the meet and greet. He's great. He dedicated a song to my wife and I. Actually, it was fantastic. And he told me that he was approached to do season 3, but he was very ill at the time and couldn't do it. But he had been approached.
He's been touring nonstop now, so I don't think he's
he's fine now, but he might be busy with his tours. But again, it might be, hey, when you're playing in LA, why don't you swing by the house real quick?
Let's see. I think we like work.
Yeah, let's. Now I know this isn't Lynch's style, but let's throw you on the green screen, Chris. So anyway,
he has a couple dates coming up in December.
Yeah, so October 6th is when season 3 was announced. So that's a week away. You know what else happens October 6th? The UK Twin Peaks Festival.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting? Right?
I didn't put those together.
No. And you know how else a new season or something else is coming? There's a complete box set coming out in a month.
That's the pattern.
That's the pattern. For those of you who don't know, the last Blu-ray box set, not for season 3, but for season 1 and 2, was called The Complete Mystery and the Missing Pieces. It dropped in the summer of 2014, and then a couple months later, season 3 was announced. So now
History tells us anything.
Here we are. Let's say they make an announcement October 6th at 10:10 a.m. Right? Isn't that the day? Wait, hold on. What's the day? Remind me, Gordon. It's October. And Fire Walk with Me. What does he say?
It's not 10:10.
No. My mind's like blank right now. Gordon, it's February. No, it's February. He said.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, nothing happens in October.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell am I talking about? But anyway, because it's dealing with the completion of 10 and all that nonsense.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's just and then so April 7th, 1990 was a Sunday. April 7th of 2020 is a Monday, but it's still pretty damn close. And I have a feeling they're gonna drop this thing on Sunday the 6th, April 6th, 2020.
Maybe a trailer at least or something.
No, because that would be the actual
coming out. You think whatever it is, it's coming out this April.
I think it's going to come out the day of the premiere of the pilot.
Okay. I mean, I'm all for that if that's true, but I'm thinking maybe they'll save it, push it a year, and maybe drop a trailer. I don't know.
Yeah. And you know how else I know this is definitely happening? Because I did the Queen of Hearts table read yesterday. And for those of you who don't know, because there's 200 people watching, I've been working on
Oh my God.
I've been working on a fan film for a while about Twin Peaks called Queen of Hearts, and I finally got the cast and everybody together, and we did this great table read yesterday. Everything went beautifully and smoothly, and the next day this happened. So the producer contacted me and just said, "We need to find out when they're going to premiere this thing, so we don't come out after it." Because the reason why is because we don't want to put something out that negates what they put out. Right now, what we're doing does not negate anything they've ever done. But if we put it out after, whatever they do, it's probably going to be negated. So,
time to hustle.
It is time. If you ever want to put a fire on my ass, tell me that season 4 is coming out. So anyway,
apparently in April.
Well, I think, yeah, that's right now. That is what I think. I'm going to say April 6th, 2020, whatever it is, it drops. Now, let's say some people might say, well, maybe this is David Lynch's new cut of Fire Walk with Me that's been rumored about for a couple of years now. Sabrina Sutherland, his executive producer, went to the UK Twin Peaks Festival a few years ago and confirmed that Lynch was working on a new cut of Fire Walk with Me. I don't know what that means. I don't think it's just the missing pieces thrown in. I'd like to think that he's going to just go batshit crazy with it and like put in Cooper in the scene with Laura and James and just kind of.
Maybe they were shooting stuff to put into that.
Wouldn't that be amazing? But now if it's that'd get me excited. But if it was just kind of like, another Fire Walk with Me edit, I don't think that's going to be this much anticipation. I don't think it's, people are like, oh, it's just going to be another box set or another t-shirt, another this and that.
I hope this is a t-shirt.
Look, if this ends up being something as stupid as that, the Twin Peaks fans will never believe anything again. In fact, I don't
think it's going to be. But.
In fact, there was a young woman that used to be on the show named Helena, and she said on one video, Cameron, I'm not going to believe Twin Peaks is back until those opening credits are playing on my TV.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all.
So I understand the skeptical people out there, whatever, but don't be skeptical because your inside sources haven't told you anything. They may not know, or they can't tell you. And
legally, they probably cannot tell you.
No, because legally they would be sued if they said anything. And believe me, it's not just one NDA these people are up against. They've got several. Like all those people who were the background swayers to the Audrey dance, they were probably under like 6 or 7 different NDAs.
That's what I'm saying. until they could say something officially, it's just going to be rumors. But it seems, I mean, Michael Horse's post is like pretty. I don't know.
No, when I
Seems
saw
pretty
Michael,
obvious to me.
Michael Horse's post, I said it's coming back. It
Yeah.
absolutely is
That's
coming back.
that post is. I mean, I hope he like. I hope he was allowed. I don't want
And
to get him in trouble.
what's really cool is if there's a season 4, it automatically makes season 3 better to a lot of people, because just like Fire Walk with Me, a lot of people didn't like it until they saw the missing pieces or they saw season 3, because it put into context Fire Walk with Me. So I think that's what's going to happen is season 4 will make season 3 look good, because it will it's not the last thing we see of that world.
I mean, I was fine with season 3. Of course, I'd love more, but I was fine with it. But again, I'm never gonna say no to some more Twin Peaks. As long as Frost and Lynch are kicking, hopefully they could give us a little more now and then.
Well, what do you think? When you hear a lot of these signs, are you still of the skeptical, or are you at this point? And look, we're lovable, gullible Twin Peaks fans, but at the same time, though, we do have a head on our shoulders, and we do have a pretty large, fan base that loves discussing this stuff with us. So we're not going to just go out here and do this video just for likes and clickbait and all that stuff, because we've been talking about Twin Peaks for the 2 years in between when it wasn't popular.
I haven't stopped talking about Twin Peaks. My family's sick and tired of hearing it.
Right. I mean, I've been doing videos about Twin Peaks since 2012. All right. So it's not like, believe me, you want to talk about dark days of Twin Peaks, do a podcast about Twin Peaks in 2012, when I would get no more than like 53 views. And I would notice they'd watch about 15 seconds. Right. Now cut to, I mean, we have more viewers right now watching tonight than watching. Not since episode 8, when Hal and I did, and we had like 500 people in the chat. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I was pretty skeptical. I mean, rumors are rumors. We felt like there was, rumors, groundswell before, but I don't know. Seeing that Michael Horse post kind of tipped me over.
Well, that was the thing that like I was going, yeah. Another thing is it's been revealed that the Salish Lodge, of course, where they filmed the exteriors for the Great Northern, the dining hall was closed for 2 days, and during those 2 days is when Lynch's tweet went out about how great it is to film in King County.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, that's a little. I know there was like the mayor has this whole new thing to get more people to film up there, but I'm like, that's very specific. Washington's a large state.
Well, not just that, but because that's where he films most of it. But at the same time, it's like, why is the Salish Lodge dining hall closed the same day the tweet comes out? I mean, there's just too many weird coincidences for this just to be nothing. So if you're skeptical and you say there's nothing going on, I cannot get on board on that train right now.
I mean, I understand why people are being skeptical. They don't want to like be upset, or they don't want to be disappointed. I get it, but like they keep a little flame alive there. I know we've had it kind of crushed a couple times, but
yeah, but at the same time, though, one of those days it was going to not be crushed.
Yeah.
The fact that nobody has come out to squash any of this,
and you have Michael Horse posting something pretty I wouldn't say it's innocuous at all, and it seems pretty blatant to me. Right.
So now I've talked to people who run or own or some of these places, some of these locations, and they've said they didn't film anymore at these locations. They haven't been back to film at the locations, because we definitely would have heard about that. So either they're not using those locations for whatever else they're doing, or they recreated those on sound stages.
That's what I think. I think after the TMZ leaks, Lynch was probably like, no, never again.
I mean, like the Laura Palmer house, that was the TMZ leak that broke the camel's back.
And that was last episode.
I mean, the argument could be, why on earth are you shooting the finale of your show out on the street in front of everybody? But And I honestly did not think. I never thought when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's probably going to be about, I don't know, halfway through the show or something like that. Like, I didn't think that would be the finale of the show. But anyway, so I don't think they've gone back to shoot there. Although Rebecca Del Rio, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Rebecca Del Rio showed up at the Palmer House the other day and did a mini concert inside the living room.
I saw.
Right. So that's strange and peculiar in itself, you know, like, why are we doing mini concerts? I mean, I'm sure people are friendly, blah, 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 but it's just when you have all of these things all happening at once, you do have to just kind of scratch your head and go, something is happening.
Occam's razor. You know what that is? It's like the most likely thing you assume is happening is probably the actual thing. I'm paraphrasing, but
that's well, I mean, it's like before season 3 was announced, there were James and Joe, who were running the Bring Back Twin Peaks Facebook page, and James, of course, runs the Twin Peaks Coffee Time YouTube channel. They had been saying for like a year before that, and I didn't know them, but I remember just seeing stuff on there. Oh, it's coming back! It's coming back. I was like, really? It's really going to come back? And they kept. It's coming back because Frost says this, and Lynch says this over here, and they're so meticulous with the way they would just find everything. And then when it got announced, they were like, "See, we told you." I was like,
the twine boards all set up.
Yeah, but they were right. It did come back. And I mean, the reason why it even came back to begin with is because they dropped Twin Peaks on Netflix, and it got really popular again.
I mean, I'll admit that's where I first started watching it. I was like, I'll finally watch Twin Peaks. And then the rest is history. This was a couple years ago now. This was like 7 years ago now.
Right. Okay, so let's take the ring here. Says, agree with both you. Michael Horse's tweet did it for me. Something's coming for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, that put me over.
And it's not. This is what I thought originally. Like, maybe not today, but a couple days ago, I thought we're going to get the missing pieces of season 3. That's what I thought. We're going to get, another thing, another 90 minutes or so footage or whatever it is going to be. But then Hollywood Horror Museum kept saying it's not that. It's not something that you'd expect. And we know that David Lynch has mentioned Carrie Page a few times since.
Yeah. You don't end on Carrie Page for no good reason.
No, and I think that there's been people online saying, "Hey, we should get Jennifer Lynch to do the Secret Diary of Carrie Page or something like that."
That's what I wanted. That's what I was saying.
Excuse me. But I can see Lynch trying to, because he's all about balance, and you can't bring in a character like Carrie Page for the final 2/3 of an episode of the last season of Twin Peaks. So I could see him doing a smaller series around Carrie Page and have it be the bookend to Firewalk with Me.
Either that, I want Carrie Page. Whatever it is, I hope we get more Carrie Page.
Either that, or it's going to be a spin-off series about Gordon and Philip Jeffries doing their first Blue Rose cases. X-Files style.
I can't see that. I think it's going to be continuation, more or less.
Oh, Joey in the chat says, "I swear to God, if this is Amy Shields having a guest starring role in Grey's Anatomy." Oh my God. Trapped in Plastic Millie says, "I want more Sarah." Grace Zabrisky's already in it. I guarantee it, because she's a staple. She's a staple, and she's the only thing they have as a villain for the show
at this point. Yeah, she
is
Judy.
She's also Diane Ladd in Wild at Heart. She is Lula's mother at this point, screaming and breaking picture frames and all that. Aaron Johnson, it's great to see you guys live. I like the idea of Twin Peaks getting Firewalk with Me, but maybe there could be a proper balance cuts where the original and the extended cut. Yeah, like Apocalypse Now, the final cut.
That's also possible, yeah.
Take the Ring says, "I said on the show, and I still maintain Carrie Page-ish movie, Lynch intimate small cast."
That's what I'm putting my chips on.
Listen,
right now.
I am so hoping for this as opposed to David Lynch coming out saying, I'm making an entire movie about Annie Blackburn. Because that is when I will close down this video channel and jump off the Snoqualmie Falls. Nice knowing you. Like, I finally got my table read. Goodbye.
Yeah, but take the ring. My chips are on this. Like, I had to go all in on this idea. That's what I think's happening.
I agree. All right, so we're gonna go back and we're gonna look over some comments. So keep writing comments so we get to them, because
yes, please.
This is a lot of fun. I'm so happy to have so many of you guys watching, and it's fun talking Twin Peaks with a large crowd again. Because for a long time, I gotta tell you, I mean, Joey and I talk about all different things, but when we do Twin Peaks videos, it's always a lot of fun. But the audience really kind of went away during in the interim. And while it's wonderful to talk with everybody, at the same time, though, like, the more people, the more livelier it is, and that also keeps the trolls away and stuff like that, and all that. So, okay, let's do this. George says now it's about setting things right to a balance, eliminating Judy if she wasn't already eliminated at the end of part 18. Listen, we can if part 18 was the end, fine, but they're going to get into that more. They're absolutely going to get into that more. Undeclared Nation says, what is happening? I just got here. Hal says, no, Wilton, it never ends. Merch is king. Let's see here. Let's see. Rick Sloan says, I feel electricity in the air. Me too. And this isn't like some like BS, like, oh, we're just super excited for more Twin Peaks and we can't wait to see it. It's like, we wouldn't be doing a show if like there wasn't like 25 signs just all pointing to this really happening.
Yeah, that Michael Horse one really put me over. I was like, Cameron said he was doing a show. I'm like, you want to talk? He was like, come on, let's do this.
Lisa says, I literally haven't been this excited about anything since David tweeted about the possibility of season 3 and when season 3 started. Or remember the tweet when he said he was leaving Twin Peaks? That was.
And then all those videos came out. Twin Peaks without David Lynch.
Without David Lynch, there is no Twin Peaks.
It's like creamed without the corn.
Oh, God. Oh, is that one of them?
I don't know. I just made it up right now. I can't remember all of them.
402 says, I agree that Lynch shouldn't do the whole thing. I would like to see some big directors take an episode here and there. Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You have Tim Hunter. You have Leslie Linka Glatter, who is a Showtime darling because
she's working hard. Yeah,
she's working hard, and she worked on Homeland for years, and she did the original series of Twin Peaks. You have her right there working for Showtime. She's in house. You know, I don't think this is going to be
obvious to us, but
yeah, I don't think this is going to be a situation where we find out that Amy Shields and Dwayne Dunham have made a secret candy film for Netflix. I don't think that's going to be it, because I don't think Hollywood Horror Museum would say anything about Twin Peaks about candy.
Yeah, no, I think it's Twin Peaks. I think it's Twin Peaks proper.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I might be eating my words in a couple weeks, but we'll see.
I mean, who knows? I mean, even if it comes out tomorrow, David Lynch is like, hell no, we're not doing anything more. Great. You know, then this video will be a lovely time capsule of how exciting and wonderful it was on Monday night to feel this way.
We're launching Twin Sneaks, my new sneaker company. Bad joke.
402 says, please let it be true. Professor Tickle says maybe Mark Frost's influence won't be phased out this time around. Ooh, that's George says I'm 40% optimistic, 60% skeptical. That's a good place to be, but don't be a mean skeptic. You know, just
I'd say that's a good number.
Gary says if I talk about Twin Peaks with my family and friends, they call me a weirdo. Hal says hoping for a Lynch Frost simultaneous tweet soon. Try October 6th.
Put on your notifications, people.
Yeah, because it's literally a week away, right? And also
starts tomorrow.
And also, who is on the board? Members, or at least was a board member on the Hollywood Horror Museum? Jennifer Lynch.
Oh,
yes. And speaking of that,
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
you got my thing on the screen.
look at
I am
that.
hoping for that Lynch Frost simul tweet soon.
it's coming. We got
Hey, Joey.
Hey, what's up? Long time no
What's
see.
going on? Yeah.
I mean, to have it be a week away, I mean, that's pretty good timing. So, all right. So, Hal, I have to ask you while I'm going through the chat, what is your take from all this? Are Joey and I just being optimistic?
No, man, the Hollywood haunted house or whatever the hell, that's a credible source, and that was cool. And they followed up with a bunch of tweets, reiterating the credible rumor. And but what set me over the edge, like you guys, is Michael Horse.
Yeah,
That's too. I don't think he'd tease us like that.
yeah, that's a little too.
Well, not like that.
Yeah, too on the
But
nose.
Michael Horse, and no offense to Kyle, but Michael Horse is not Kyle who puts up Twin Peaks stuff on a regular basis.
Right.
Like he always is posting about, pro Native American rights and that type of thing. And then all of a sudden to drop something about Twin Peaks out of nowhere when all this is happening.
When all this is swirling and he's like, shh.
Yeah, too coincidental.
Yeah. And
Especially
what Cooper says about two things happening simultaneously.
Yeah, but there's more than two things happening here.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is? Do you think that it's 2020 announcement, or do you think 2020 is coming out and they've been doing this in secret to totally keep the TMZ people out of there?
I mean, how can you speculate? But yeah, it would be great if it was like finished and done, and in April, the 30th anniversary, here's the new whatever movie or series. But that'll be the day that they'll tweet, it's coming, and then 2 years later.
But that seems to be the way they're doing things in Hollywood now. I bring up 10 Cloverfield Lane.
They did it with Cloverfield Paradox when they dropped it that night of the Super Bowl last year.
That's true.
There's this whole thing of let's make this movie in secret now and just
drop it.
Or
Yeah, it's like the Breaking Bad movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And do we think this is going to be for Netflix, or do you think Showtime and CBS are going to hold on to this?
I would think Showtime would get first dibs, wouldn't they?
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I have a feeling that they're going to want to push this for CBS All Access, and because I don't think the Star Trek crowd is keeping that afloat. But if you bring in Twin Peaks, all of a sudden, boom, they'll get 1 million subscribers.
They might do a simultaneous thing like All Access or Showtime, so you could subscribe to one or the other. Maybe I don't know how those deals work.
Yeah.
Well, they are the same company.
Yeah.
Because the Breaking Bad thing is going to be Netflix first, and then AMC is going to get it later.
Oh, okay.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brianne, I agree, says it's just fun to talk about this, whether it's happening or not.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we got nearly 300 people watching us live, Hal. So
it's cool as hell.
It is.
The excitement is back, after a long season of
a drought.
Nothingness. Yeah, a long drought.
Linda says maybe Showtime is starting this because it was a cash cow for them. I'll tell you this: there is a network behind this. This is not.
We need more box sets, so we need more product.
Are you buying? Are you buying the new box set?
No, I've bought it. I've pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
And pretty much every other day I go, I think I'm going to cancel that.
That's right.
I want to see that behind the scenes stuff. No, I'm going to cancel it. They'll repackage it again somewhere later. No, I really want to see that stuff. So I'm on the fence, man.
Yeah.
I'm
in the same place.
Yeah.
Just hoping the price drops on the pre-sale thing, so get a little break.
Ryan says, I agree with you guys. There's way too many coincidences for something not to be happening. But let's just I mean, obviously we don't know for sure, but let's just try to use some investigative journalism here. It's not a Fire Walk with Me recut. There's too much whispering going on for it to be just another version of Fire Walk with Me to come out, right?
Yeah, I agree. They wouldn't ramp up the anticipation like they seem
because
to be.
It's not just like, there's some rumors here that this thing has hit. I mean, we're over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We got,
and if they don't come out in the next 48 hours and squash it, like Sabrina Sutherland, like, no, then something's up.
No, because someone did contact her about the Hollywood Horror Museum, and she responded back. She doesn't respond to rumors. Okay, but do you know how fast she came out and squashed Amy Shields' Comic-Con thing?
That's what I'm saying. If she doesn't just go, hey, your guys are way off,
Right. So it's not so much a rumor if you don't, you know what I mean? How easy to just be like, it's not true.
Right.
You know, but when there's smoke, there's fire. So, let's see. Justin says whatever they do, they need to bring the lights way back down in the Black Lodge. It was too bright and sterile. It was no longer scary. Yeah. Robert says, I can't believe you guys haven't figured it out yet. Evelyn Marsh.
That's good.
Matt says Harry Goes' latest Instagram post is kind of interesting too. Joey, can you look that up for me?
Yeah, what's
see what
that?
that's about? Let's see here. Depeche Mode Lover says, I would love a movie, but would be much happier with another season of 10 episodes. Look, we all want more, but just we don't want filler is what we don't want.
Nothing against that poster, but me and my friends used to call Depeche Mode Depeche Commode.
Shannon says, to be honest, I could picture a Blue Rose Case movie. That's a prequel. Dane DeHaan and Miles Teller. Ooh, I don't know about that. What is it, Joey?
It's a picture of LA.
Okay.
From a plane, it looks like.
And what does that have to do with
left America for the Magic City.
What's the Magic City? Oh,
LA.
Left America for the Magic City? No, he's going to Switzerland.
Maybe he's going to Buenos Aires.
That's the latest one, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Let's see. 402 says, I wonder if Lynch filmed any enormous scenes before Peggy Lipton died. She is so missed. That'll be a no. Because if he didn't get anything with David Bowie, he certainly didn't get anything with Peggy Lipton.
What if Michael Onkin comes back?
I hope.
Gary
says, what's the deal with Laura Dern shaving her hair? Did she shave her hair?
Did she?
I think he asked her to do something. I heard something about that.
Take the Ring says, my biggest question is how the new stuff will impact the return and the rest of the series. But yes, Firewalk with Me style book and film sounds about right. Well, this is the thing that everyone said when they said back when season 3. Oh, is season 3 going to undo all the coolness that season 1 and 2 was? And and we got something completely different. Mm-hmm. And season 4 will be nothing like season 3, and it'll be nothing like Firewalk with Me and season 2 and season 1. It will be its own thing. Every incarnation of Twin Peaks is its own thing.
And it will end on a cliffhanger again.
And it will completely make you wish. It'll make you wish that we ended with season 3.
Probably.
Yeah. Gary calls it Christabel will be back. Yeah, absolutely.
Last line will be, what timeline is it?
But you know what it could be? It also could be about them setting the official record too, So, and that could explain Sabrina's messages when people were talking about Frost's book, saying that's Frost's timeline, not Lynch's timeline. So maybe Lynch is going to go into his own timeline.
Yeah. No more tie-in books from Mark Frost, please.
Professor Tickle says, I'm telling you, if there's fire at the end of the smoke, then it's a book or a comic. It's not, because Lynch has already squashed the graphic novel idea.
Graphic novel would be a letdown. I mean, if Lynch, passed away or something, then I'd take some continuation along those lines. But while he's alive and still an active artist, come on, it's got to direct.
Shannon says Lynch directed Twin Peaks only, please. See, I disagree. I completely disagree. Because there's so many great episodes in season 1 and 2 that he didn't direct, and they're great.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I like the pure, unadulterated vision of David Lynch, though, man. Whatever he chooses to give us, it's better than someone else doing it.
No, I understand. Like, nobody could have made season 3 the way he did, because those scripts were tailor-made to his way of doing things.
Yeah.
It wasn't like season 1 and 2 where another director could pick it up and shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else could make episode 8 like he made it.
Yeah. Would you like to see more pursuing that kind of flashback, Frog Moth?
Yes, honestly, like I was rather disappointed that it was just a 1 episode standalone.
Me too.
I could use more with the Woodsman. Like, what were they doing all that time and stuff like that?
Yeah. There's that, and I mean, personally, I wish that he had just begun it with the atom bomb. Just season 3 just begins with the atom bomb, and that would have weeded out everybody real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Getty
Doors first episode is the beginning of season.
I'm on a lonely Twin Peaks island here in Texas. Absolutely. But
you're not alone. You're with us.
But I do think Shannon says, so the source was Jennifer. No, I don't think Jennifer Lynch was the source. I'm just saying she at one time, I don't know, maybe she still is, was on the board of members of the Hollywood Horror Museum.
Maybe she's the credible source that they're talking about.
Who knows who it could be, but it's not Lara Flynn Boyle. I'll tell you that much. Jake says, what's up, Hal?
Hey.
And Andrew says, yes, Hal is back.
Hey, Andrew.
Now we have 262 people. Let's get it up to 300, guys. Let's, tweet it out to people. Let people know that we're on. Hal will get a role as a woodsman in season 4.
That's so cool. People remember that stuff from all our videos.
Yeah. George says maybe first on CBS All Access, then airing on Showtime a week later. I could see that. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do the week at a time thing again. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nathan says, we are ready. My log is on fire. William says, I'm pacing around in circles, panting heavily in total hysteria. Try being live on YouTube and containing the excitement.
Hashtag peak scasm.
Shannon says, I wasn't sure if Twin Peaks made them much money. I don't know if it made all that much money, but it did bring them clout and prestige.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm curious, but I really can't say.
Rick Sloan says, it's so great to have you guys all back. Hey, we never went anywhere. It's just people stopped watching.
No, we never stopped watching, Cameron. I've seen them all.
Oh, yeah. Gary says the place on Hawk's map he want to talk about is the location for season 4. Shannon says we're still missing a page from Laura's diary. Well, that's Carrie Page. She's Carrie Page. Get it?
Person.
And also that count is wrong. I'm so tired of it. I have to say it over and over and over again. Hawk is senile. He doesn't know what he's talking about. They've already established there's like 7 diary pages, not 4. So anyway, I'm going to drop that topic right now.
That's a different video again.
George says Sabrina could be keeping a tight lid on things. Of course she is. She's you want to tell a secret? Tell it to Sabrina Sutherland.
Handing out the NDAs, like.
Oh, they're handing them out like Pez.
I mean, obviously, if there's the official announcement is going to be another simul tweet, don't you think? I mean, nobody's going to say anything for sure until they do that. Yeah. They want to be the ones that drop it.
But Hal, don't you think it's kind of odd that the Sailor's Lodge dining room closes when David Lynch tweets about King County and filming locations?
Yeah, that's all good signs.
All right. So Rob says, let's suppose it's a new series covering events after season 3. Any thoughts on which characters will be covered or which way it would go? Any hopes or wishes? At this point, if they've already shot it, if it's an announcement, it's another story. If they've already shot it, it's simple. It's Laura Dern, Kyle MacLachlan, Cheryl Lee, Grace Zabriskie. Who else?
Ray Wise, please. Ray Wise, more Ray Wise.
Oh, yes, I hope so.
That'll be
Horse,
yeah, Michael Horse. Ray Wise. That's a no, Hal, and you know that.
Why?
Because you just had some drinks with Mr. Wise, and
yeah.
I think you would have been able to decipher from his conversation.
That's true. Yeah,
it was happening.
Maybe that's true. Yeah.
So, all right, we're definitely having a return, if you will, to the previous podcasts. We have a new person, another guest.
Hey, James!
Oh my God!
Let's see.
I
can't
see James. We can't. Like Kilroy was here. Me and James over that tweet.
The comment is blocking.
Yeah, the comment. Yeah,
the comment. Well, that's fine. People can see over his eyes, I guess.
Kilroy was here.
There we go. There we go.
Hey.
Hello. So, James, I know this is going to be rare for you to be fun but serious. What on earth do you think of all this news? If you can even hear me right now.
James, you there?
All right, I'm going to wait till he says anything here.
He's in his own red room there with the curtains.
Hello?
James.
Hello? James, can you hear me? Say yes or no.
Hello.
Headphones would be good.
All right. William says, if I was Lynch, I would try to film the entire thing without any announcements secretly. Well, it looks like that's what happened.
Yeah.
Wait a
That'd be
minute.
my guess.
Professor Tickles, you need to look this up. Says Mark Frost has posted about One-Eyed Jacks.
Hold on.
Bring it on. Breaking news. Breaking news.
On it.
Please see if that is happening.
I'm on it.
You need to get a breaking news sign.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing I do want to see in this new season. I want to see Michael Onking.
Me too. Although Lynch with his like the Ray Wise was underused, I'll have Michael Onking come back. It'll just be in a coffin. That's it.
Well, Ryan, I agree. Says depending on how you interpret the ending of season 3, a new season could go in wildly different directions. Because if you've wiped out the previous timeline, you have an open door to do anything you want. So
I don't know if this is super cryptic. But
does he say anything about One-Eyed Jacks?
He's retweeting somebody that came across a bar called One-Eyed Jack, and he just writes One-Eyed Jack. You say?
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much it. Unless there's another one, but that's the only one I see.
SPF 50. I agree. Everyone throw a like on video if you want to help. And Lisa says, I prefer only Lynch directing. His quirky vision is at the heart of the Twin Peaks. Yes, but I could say David Lynch directs one, Mark Frost directs one, Jennifer Lynch directs one, Leslie Glatter directs one, Tim Hunter directs one. There's 5 right there. Yeah,
if you brought back the classic directors from the first couple of seasons, that'd be cool. If Lynch didn't want to do them all, but
you have Jennifer do a few because she's like ace director.
Yeah, right, Jennifer. But if Lynch wants to do them all, I would hate to see people fight with him about that.
Oh, yeah.
If he's like, I want a variety of directors, then I'm all for it.
Exactly. Okay, so James,
Hi everyone.
Hey James.
Hey.
All right. So what do you think about all this?
I've just awoken. It's now 4:34 a.m. in the UK, and this breaking news came to me by fax. I woke up and I was just like, "What? This is big," And Joe's like, "We've been on this case for 10 years now." I'm like, "Well, I hope it can be, 20 years."
Well, I did bring this up because you and Joe were the ones for a year or so before season 3 even came out saying the signs are pointing towards season 3. So what in your minds, I know you're an eternal optimist that Twin Peaks was always going to come back again. What are the signs for you that says that something else is happening right now besides all the stuff I said? Is there anything else that you can think of?
Just, the stars turning and, that kind of thing. But also, I don't know, it just seems about the right kind of time for it in terms of timing. And when you're talking about, say, the premiere coming out of the original Twin Peaks in 1990 was April, right? But it was September, October in the UK. But, it just makes sense. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to imagine, though, that they could have filmed enough already and how they could film it quick enough for then. But they may be trying a completely different approach than season 3, which, I always expected. But
remember, Fire Walk with Me was shot in 11 months or shot and edited in 11 months. So. Yeah,
I think I like I said, I always thought that they would take a different approach with a further season because season 3 is very specific to this sort of, going with a more of a surrealist take on everything.
But if you do a series that's just, Cooper, Richard, Laura, Carrie Page, I mean, you could get pretty experimental and
I hope they don't though myself. I don't. I think that would just further alienate the audience to the point where like Twin Peaks has gone off into obscurity. I think it's important to bring it back, and I think Lynch and Frost know that they have to sort of, I mean, if they're going to film, for instance, in the, where you're saying the some chambers of commerce or whatever, there's this idea of Cooper finally returning, finally becoming himself again, and not Richard and Carrie and all that malarkey. As much as all that is part of him and part of Twin Peaks, I think, Lynch recognizes, and probably Frost and everybody really, that there's a certain sort of, circular nature to Twin Peaks. I mean, it could go on forever in a way, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to get like a Sony PD 150 and start filming an Inland Empire version of Twin Peaks at this stage anyway. But for Showtime, I mean, the Showtime wouldn't really want that anyway, for one thing.
All right, we have another person coming in, and he's sideways right now. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hello.
It's Mr. Joe Powers from the Bring Back Twin Peaks page that James and him started. Now, Joe, I'll ask you the same question as James. What makes you convinced more than ever right now that there is something else happening?
Just a lot of coincidences going on at the same time, and all these now things coming out of the woodwork. And I thought a few weeks ago that Lynch's tweet was odd about the filming locations up in Washington. And
well, that tweet actually was a quote from an article, and it just got reposted there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel as though something has definitely been going on behind the scenes, and I mean, it's almost what's it been 2 years since the show was on, so perhaps something is in the works.
What bands would you like to see in the Roadhouse in a?
I don't want them to go back.
You don't want to do that.
I want more.
No Roadhouse.
No, because if there were Roadhouse performances, this thing would have been leaked a long time ago.
Yeah.
Probably Cardi B would be good in there, like.
Cardi B.
Bring back the
They've got to take it more mainstream, I think, and some stripping, like that film Hustlers.
I want to see Tom Waits and Nick Cave and Flaming Lips and people like that.
Tom Waits would be perfect.
Tom Waits would be great.
Kevin says, I feel like they can't shoot the whole thing on stages. They would need some exteriors, right? Hey, look, they shot the whole series, season 1 and 2 in Los Angeles. So,
right.
Also, you don't need a big crew to shoot exteriors anymore.
And they're not going to do, and they've learned from season 3 not to do big scenes outside anymore.
Yeah.
So, but how many pictures have we seen?
How have they learned that? I don't understand what you mean.
Because the TMZ leak.
TMZ.
But how many times?
But I think that was deliberate.
Okay, well, I'm just saying how many times have we seen pictures of Lynch, Kyle, and Laura Dern together over the last 2 years? You're telling me they couldn't. I was telling Joey this earlier. I think that what happened is if you watch the season 3 behind the scenes, he's complaining all the time about money, the schedule. And I think that he said it's going to take 3 to 4 years before there's another season, if there's another season. And he shot it over these 3 or 4 years. Someone had a free weekend over here. They shot a little something over here, and they've been piecing it together. Oh. And that's what I think. And I think that because the NDAs stopped this year. Apparently.
I kind of go more with Kevin. He says, I don't think anything has been. Personally, I think that maybe some stuff was shot when they were doing season 3, but then I think the rest is going to be shot kind of now to whenever. And then it's going to be sort of like more of a, as you said before with Fire Walk With Me, for instance. Like now they've practiced, so they know what the way they're going to go with it. And I think it's going to go in anyway a direction where it's taking us more into Twin Peaks, if you know what I mean. You could film in and around Twin Peaks, but yeah, I do think you're right in that they're not going to film major set pieces necessarily. Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. They didn't film anything in Twin Peaks because that would have been leaked all over the place real quick.
Well, I mean, I think they're still going to film stuff.
Well, remember, Peter Deming did go to Snoqualmie, North Bend earlier this year, and he was posting Instagram photos of him or videos of him at the falls. So they could have easily sent him up there with camera, got some B-roll unit, and all they need are the establishing shots.
Or he was just on holiday.
Or he's on holiday.
Why would he be shooting B-roll of the falls? I mean,
because you
make very different season, different season than what they have in previous seasons.
Yeah, maybe they just want some new footage of it, like
spring shot or
because every season the falls, are either larger or smaller and things like that.
Yeah, but they're not making a nature documentary about the falls, are they?
No, but David Lynch does like Terrence Malick.
Does he?
Yeah.
And wasn't Kyle MacLachlan in Las Vegas this last week or weekend or something?
I don't know, but I think the whole Las Vegas storyline is done.
I hope so.
Yeah. But Mandy contacted me the other day, said, "Hey, that video that Kyle posted of him on the green screen," she said, "Is that new footage?" And I to life of me, I don't know. Is that from the behind the scenes, or is that something that Kyle I don't
think
remember.
that was him falling into the whatever, the purple.
Maybe it's some of the new footage from the behind the scenes that we're going to get with the box set. I don't know. George says maybe if there's something they aren't shooting on location until they announce something. Hey, there's no guarantee that they're going to. This may completely. They may be done with Twin Peaks proper and just go completely. I mean, they've made it worldwide now. It was season 3. Maybe they're shooting this whole thing in Paris, and we don't know. Because David Lynch is in Paris like every other weekend, apparently. So,
Yeah.
Are you serious now?
Who knows?
I mean, come on. There's no way that's happening. They've done it already. They're not going. Like I said, they're going to do something that's sort of both, homely, but also, unheimlich. It's like.
But they didn't shoot anything at the Palmer House. There's nothing new that they've shot.
I'm not talking about. I don't mean literally the Palmer home. I mean, because season 3 was about anything but Twin Peaks, in a way, wasn't it? Generally speaking,
right.
I think that on a gut level, Frost and Lynch know that you've kind of got to somehow come home. That
bring it back.
Wizard of Oz type thing. I mean, but of course, it's never completely going to be like everything. Everybody says there's no way there's going to be a massive happy ending, and of course, Lynch does do happy endings. But again, at the same time, there's always a complexity to it. So
almost 90% of Lynch's films have a happy ending, and it's funny watching people on social media talk about, well, it's not a David Lynch movie unless you leave the movie completely feeling crazy and out of control. And it's like, no, all of his movies, almost all of them have happy endings.
Yeah, Lost Highway is really the only one with a grim ending.
Well, you could say that
at the same time, he's getting away from the police in a way. So
the trilogy. The trilogy.
Mulholland Drive doesn't have a happy ending.
No,
really.
but if you look
That's
at
true.
Eraserhead, Elephant Man, Blue Velvet, Dune, Wild at Heart, it's just like Straight Story.
Inland Empire is a major feel-good ending for me.
The whole movie.
Hey, I was so happy when Inland Empire ended. So yes,
Please. Cameron,
they're showing it here in Columbus, and it starts at midnight. I'm like, oh no way.
Okay, I watched
Like,
Inland Empire in 2 parts, and I was like fine with it. 3 hours solid of close-ups of Laura Dern kind of being sick or vomiting blood up. It was slightly too much for me, I admit, but I wasn't fully prepared for it, honestly. And I saw it in the smallest cinema in like the UK or whatever it was called in Nottingham, and I was like, and I took this sort of female with me, thinking this is a good idea, and then halfway through it, I literally felt like I was in a panic attack. I mean, I wasn't. It wasn't a panic attack. I was just, the bass was like,
yeah. That's a good first date movie, James.
It wasn't the first date. It was last date.
Last date.
She was like, can't we just go and see a comedy? I'm like, oh, this is a good film, Really? Yeah, but I mean, Inland Empire is very much a kind of art installation type of film, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so was season 3 of Twin Peaks in many ways.
It was in many parts, yes.
Yes. All right. So Joe, what are some of the things besides some of the stuff that I talked about? Is there anything that you have seen that goes, yes, this is definitely going in this direction? Because you're posting like a wild man over there at Twin Peaks Worldwide right now.
It was a slow day at work. But I'd have to say, I mean, I was caught off guard by that tweet a few weeks ago by Lynch, and I said, oh well, then everyone's just saying, oh well, he must just be trying to endorse people to go shoot there. But then I think the Horror Museum tweet kind of, the guy was like, I don't have to be spewing rumors, and I'm not going to say anything, but there's something going on. I mean, why would he just post that on Twitter?
And then he followed it up with like several other tweets
that
like was rational and not
right.
And the guy's like 1 to 10. He's like, no, 1 million.
He didn't have to go out and put himself.
Not just talking about monkeys.
Okay, so
I'm making a film about a monkey.
So let's say it is, and it obviously has to do with Twin Peaks. It's not just a new Lynch project because he says Twin Peaks fans. So do you think it's a movie, or do you think it's a really limited series, like 6 to 10 episodes? Because remember, season 3 was supposed to only be 9,
right?
And they doubled it. And now people are going back and finding this old article saying that like Showtime commissioned 2 seasons of Twin Peaks, but I think that was because it became 18 episodes from 9 episodes, you know.
Right.
So.
But
I think it's more.
He shot over 140 hours of footage, didn't he? I mean, it's
Yeah,
a lot
but he does that.
For me, it would be ideal if they tried to emulate season 2, and it was 22 episodes of that level of complexity and so many layers of mystery. You know, like going from Lynch coming in and directing a really serious episodes, and then Diane Keaton coming in and going, and right, we're going to concentrate on the door just swinging, like, you know what I mean? Because there were elements of that kind of thing in The Return, weren't there? Like, for instance, Dougie smashing his head into the glass door and stuff. So,
well, there's that one picture going around of Lana kissing Dougie Milford with lipstick all over his face, saying it's Dougie, and then you show and it has a picture of Cooper in Bud's office covered in lipstick, saying it's Dougie. You know, so there's
maybe it'll be 119 episodes for 119.
George says 10 episodes. 10 is the number.
Film an episode a week prior to broadcast.
See, because personally, I thought that what they were going to do was shoot the 18, and then show us 9 one year, and then the back 9 for the next year. I thought they were going to separate it into 2 seasons, because that would have kept subscribers for Showtime for 2 years. But I agree. George says 10 episodes. 10 is the number of completion. That would probably be good.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be something less than spectacular, like Quentin Tarantino's doing the extended and then break it into chapters. Maybe he'll just reformat it with extra footage. Season 3.
George wishful thinking. Budget of Game of Thrones. It's not even going to have the budget of 1 episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but to be fair, Game of Thrones is like they throw so much money at it, but it still looks fake to me. So, you know. Whereas Twin Peaks is something I like love with all my heart. No, I mean, you know, I can only get that much into kind of people pulling each other's heads off and stuff, you know. It's like gore porn and stuff.
I just want to see Mary Reaver open the door and dragons fly out.
No, not. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
Actually, I would love Game of Thrones.
They're not going back to the Palmer house.
Why?
I'd like to see some cornholing in the Palmer house.
Well, let's just say if it's already done, if the series is already done, then they haven't shot anything up there.
Oh, well, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But if they announce something, then sure, it's possible, you know. But that means they have to renew all the. Everybody's.
They might want to get ahead of the announcement rather than people being like, "Oh, they're shooting."
They should just use Millie's recreation of it.
Yeah. Stop action. Animation.
No, because it's funny because when I interviewed the mayor of Snoqualmie, I said, how far in advance did they talk to you before the announcement came out? Because you would have been privy to this information. And he goes, I found out the day they announced it, just like everybody else. And I thought that was interesting because the town could easily have just jacked up the prices and been like, hey, you know, I mean, that's why they shot Return of the Jedi under the title Blue Harvest, right? Because they didn't want to be charged for a Star Wars movie. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't think it's possible that something else is coming. I think it's probable at this point. There's too many signs. Too many.
Maybe it'll be like, in 2020, Twin Peaks frozen pies in your grocery store.
Now
it could be bad merchandising, whole new line of bad merchandise.
See, I think
Showtime.
Tweet like get those pies, Amy Shields. Big news,
right?
Well, big news. I'm in a small supporting role in The Happy Worker, and pies with my face are coming out. Get excited, everybody! Instead of
a Double R Diner pop-up stores, maybe they should just do like pink room, pop-up stores across America. Just all of a sudden, you just people just go in there and with pounding music and bikers. You'd be there every weekend, James.
So you're saying that Lynch and Frost will be promoting Benny's?
Yeah, we should speculate on what bad merchandising Showtime will come up with for next season.
Yeah, some of the stuff they were already on Showtime. I mean, that Christmas jumper.
Yeah, bad Cooper condoms. You don't want them. You need them.
Oh my god.
How to be like Dougie in bed.
Right. Flying.
Relax. Don't do anything.
But here's the thing: getting back to being somewhat serious.
Why?
Cheryl Lee, she's not on social media. People aren't able to track her every move like they do with Kyle and them.
She's a sensible person.
I think that I think that this whole thing is going to be based around her. I really do.
Let's hope so.
That
would be good, actually.
I don't think Kyle. I think Kyle's going to go back to more of a supporting, if not cameo, and it's going to all center around Shirley.
What, like If I Walk With Me, with him just appearing on the screen, like,
hopefully a little more than that. Hopefully a little more.
Kind of a bit, just suddenly packed on the pounds and like, hey,
I think I
don't want to do Cooper anymore.
I don't think it will be them as a team.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, the way they were in that car when the conversation was just going mad. I mean, I don't know. They've got it. I just think with like,
wow, look at Scott's comment here.
Oh, that's harsh.
I don't know. I mean, I think Cooper will definitely be in it quite a lot, but
Hell, a good edible tonight. You're not far off, pal.
But I think they need to bring Wyndham Earl back into it anyway.
Yeah, me too. That'd be good.
Nick says a theory.
Somehow,
I think they filmed most of it during season 3. See, I disagree. I don't think that they filmed this during season 3. I think they filmed maybe exteriors.
It would be really interesting if they had filmed stuff in the interim, like you say. I think that would be.
I think they did.
Kind of amazing, to be honest.
No, because a lot of things are being filmed.
No, I mean like in a positive way. I mean, it would have been a great one because I don't want to see like everything before it's actually out. Like Doug Paul was saying, "Oh, you leaked these photos." When I was posting some, I mean, they were filming it there anyway. Everybody saw it anyway. So
anyway, that's old. That's old news. But
it's old hat now. But
yeah. See, unpopular opinion. I've always found Kyle to be the heart of the show, not Cheryl Lee. No, absolutely.
I mean,
but the thing is, though, is that Kyle is a social media like maniac on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that. Cheryl Lee is not, so they could easily secretly shoot anything they want with her, and nobody would know. So Alan says more Dougie. Don't forget, guys, if you didn't like the Dougie subplot, just know that Twin Peaks can go there, which means who knows what they could give us for the next season. I mean, they could make the entire season 4 like episode 8, just completely nuts. And I would be all for that, actually.
Well, yeah, but I don't want every episode just to be about the woodsman.
No.
Like, ripping people's heads off.
I would like to see more.
I tried showing that to my grandma, and she had a conniption fit.
But I would love to see. I would love to see like a 2 or 3 episodes all in black and white.
I still want Ray Wise at Pearl Lakes. I want some segment.
I mean, it just
flashback segment with Ray.
The thing with Twin Peaks is it seems a long time ago, since when it started, but only if you count in terms of years.
Mm-hmm. I like Wilton's comment says there's a chance they will merge the leftovers from season 3 into an Inland Empire-ish feature.
It's possible.
Nick says this reminds me of early 2017. You all talking about Twin Peaks.
I wish people would stop going on about Inland Empire. It really is because I mean, can't we all just talk about Dune and like the Purple Sea stuff? Because that was, there was a lot of aspects of that in.
I guess you could argue that maybe Inland Empire, Lynch is trying to bury that himself. It's not like available anywhere.
Only in the UK. It's like available in Poundland here and stuff, just in Twin Peaks bars at the same time. I don't know. It is available in a lot of countries, but not in the US because nobody appreciates culture there, I think.
Yeah. Scott says it's not a new season. Everybody knows that it's going to be a direct-to-Showtime movie. It could be, or it could be a. I think they're really going to boost CBS All Access. I think that's where they're going with this.
Yeah. Well, it's the same parent company, right?
Right. But I'm saying, like, does Showtime need a boost anymore? Not after the shows they have on now, but CBS All Access needs the boost.
Why? What does Showtime has? What does it have?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, they have more acclaimed shows than before Twin Peaks came on.
Only one I can think of is Shameless.
No, they had that, but they had like
Ray Donovan.
Yeah, they
Donovan.
did.
Homeland
and stuff like that. But CBS Access only has Star Trek Discovery, and that's getting slammed by Star Trek fans. So,
not Dirk though.
I have no idea.
Dirk says it's good, but I mean, he's just one person. Obviously, you can't just put on the poster like, just one quote from one person.
CBS All Access says no, Showtime would be better. I agree, Showtime would be better, but CBS All Access is what needs the help right now. So,
that's probably true, actually.
But would Lynch agree to be used in that way? Try to.
Well, what does it matter as long as he gets to shoot what he wants to shoot and it doesn't get unedited?
I guess so.
I mean, it's not like he'd have to edit it for a network. It's a streaming thing.
Professor Tickle says maybe a prequel about Diane and Janie growing up. What?
That'd be amazing.
I mean, what on earth? That's like the Wonder Years, but like with tulpas.
Nick says he did have that meeting with Netflix a while back, but I don't think that Showtime would give it up. I don't think they'd give it up. Gary says CBS are desperate.
That's a good one.
STD.
No, but Picard is supposed to be good, I imagine. I don't know why I said it Picard. Picard. Right.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, the ad looked good for it, but I mean,
George, you're just being silly now.
Right. So we're gonna be wrapping this up because we're almost to 90 minutes now, and I know any second I'm gonna get a knock on that wall saying be quiet. All right, so let's just go around real quick. Joey, where are you right now at 50-50? Where are you right now in terms of you think something's happening or not?
I don't know. The Michael Horst post put me over a little bit, so I think something's happening.
And so where are you at in terms of percentages?
Percentages?
Yeah.
Probably like 70-30. 70% sure.
Okay.
At this point.
What about you, Hal?
I think the Haunted Hollywood thing put me at 30. Michael Horst put me up about 70 now.
Okay. Joe, what are you at?
I agree with both of them. The Michael Horst got me at 75-25.
75-25. What about you, James?
100%.
All right, James, man. I like your idealism. I like your positivity, man.
I'm going to say right now we're at 80%. And not if I would say 100% of Twin Peaks coming back at some point. That's 100%. But I would say 2020 I don't think we get an announcement. I think we get something. And
series, where are you at percentage wise, series versus movie?
I think it's probably going to be about a 3-hour movie. And I do think it's going to be, for them to do it as secretly as possible. I think it's going to be one batshit Cooper, Carrie Page wild ride. I think it's going to be not visually, but I think it's going to push Inland Empire to the nth degree. I think it's really going to just drive people crazy. Joe, where are you right now? Did I ever talk to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think personally it's going to be either a movie or a limited series after seeing like what the Breaking Bad people are doing with like that El Camino.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. I don't think, but see, they tried 9 episodes before with Lynch and he took it to 18. Right. So that's why I don't think it's going to be quite like that. I think that they're going to try and, I think they can go experimental for a movie, but I don't think they can go experimental like again for like a big thing. I could be wrong. Who knows though? James, where are you right now? I know 100%, but be real.
No, I can imagine they might go to like possibly 10 episodes, something like that. And that's basically 5 movies if they're like 45 minutes each or so.
Well, I remember the first.
I think there's going to be a contrast between the traditional and then the less traditional. So I think that like season 3 took it quite far in terms of the sort of what you're describing. Like for instance, how it ended in Part 18. So I can't really see them making a full season of like just carrying Cooper in a car, sort of not talking or something. But those I think, like I said to Joe, there's got to be a story of some sort, not just so many loose ends. I mean, as much as I don't mind loose ends, I'm not saying that's bad.
I want to see the origin of Senorita Dido.
I agree with Depeche Mode. Yeah. Movie would not get as many subscribers, but a 4th season would. I agree. But then again, Deadwood movie brought back subscribers, so so it is.
It's not that's not Showtime, though, is it?
HBO.
Showtime doesn't do movies, does it?
I guess maybe not.
They could call it an original Showtime event or something like that,
Okay.
Yeah, they could do anything with Twin Peaks, but that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this:
who knows?
If this was complete just BS rumors, don't you think by now somebody, CBS, Showtime, Sabrina, whoever, would have said something by now to somebody to squash it?
Yeah, even Jennifer Lynch would have come out and said, "This is not happening, guys." The Hollywood Horror Museum is just promoting their latest, I don't know, what have they got, Child's Play exhibition or something. I mean, via Twin Peaks, so that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but, anything's possible. So,
right. So I think right now, if it's not a movie, I think it's going to be, probably 6 to 8 episodes, maybe 10 of all around Carrie Page and Cooper.
Maybe it's just a new Mark Frost book.
Sabrina Sullivan was actually silent when I posted something on her page about it yesterday. I shared something, and she didn't respond. So,
well, I mean, again,
and she's pretty good at responding. So no response sort of says something too.
I don't appreciate being like people from Coffee Time coming over into your chat, Cameron, then to harass me. It's like. Scott Matthews saying, "I sleep with an autographed photo of David Lynch on my head nightstand, otherwise I'll cry myself to sleep." I mean, it's, for one thing, how do they know this? And second, it's wrong.
It's because you do a show for like 6 hours every weekend. So,
well, that did happen, but.
But anyway, no, I'm whatever happens. I really do think something is happening. I'm not just being optimistic, trying to get likes and views.
No,
I really, really do think that something is happening, because there wouldn't be, if it was 1 or 2 things, okay. But I mean, we can name 5 or 6, all happening right now.
It's like Bob Dylan. Something's happening, but you don't know what it is, do you, Mr. C?
I mean, we might find out next week. Right?
The Dylan fans will get that.
Depeche Mode Lover 101, are they offered in your chat?
No, they're new.
Because they said, well, silence from the official people speaks volumes. I mean, I would agree with that, but
yeah,
it's just funny because a lot of Depeche Mode fans seem to be Twin Peaks fans, I've noticed.
All right, so my final question is, how likely is Annie Blackburn going to show up in this movie?
Cameron's like, don't ruin Queen of Hearts, please.
Please. As I posted on Twitter, hey, please give me a chance to finish my film before this thing comes out, please. Yeah.
It wouldn't. If she was, it would actually complement, I think.
Not if it negates anything I put in it. So. Shannon says Sabrina probably would have squashed the rumor already. Absolutely, I completely agree. It's not. I think at this point, it's not a rumor anymore. We're in the waiting room of the Black Lodge, waiting for confirmation.
That's what it feels like. Yeah,
exactly. So, all right. So Joey, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Joey Pedras. Search that on YouTube, and you'll find my channel. Do Twin Peaks videos there too.
And how people can find you on Facebook.
On Facebook. Whatever.
Yeah. All right. And then we have James. Where can people find you?
Twin Peaks Coffee Time, YouTube, and I am associated with the page Twin Peaks Worldwide, although that's more Joe's thing.
Oh, you got back on there?
Eventually, yeah. I think I am.
Okay. So. And Joe, you're now running the page again, Twin Peaks Worldwide?
I just started getting back on it this week. I've been adjusting to dad life the last 10 months. And
oh, wow.
Congrats.
Thank you. The news has spurred me and reinvigorated me to get involved somehow.
Well, it is much needed. I mean, it's gone a long time, obviously without any news. So.
But it is consistent with what Lynch said, which was if there was going to be another season, it wouldn't be for 3 or 4 years, and here we are.
Yeah, so. Frost actually was a bit more vocal. He was saying things like, we would like to go back, as in if Showtime let us, etc. And we had the ideas, but we are in no rush. He said, so clearly they're like, we're not just going to do this for the sake of it, just because the fans want it necessarily. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but they've got to have the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also so smart, where where we think they're going right and they go left. I think they, when they did season 3, they looked at what they needed to change for whatever they were going to do moving forward, because they I remember when I talked to Catherine Nicholson and I said, how are you guys going to do this in the modern day? And she goes, we're going to have to figure out a way to adapt to it. Well, once that TMZ thing happened, I know Sabrina said differently, but from what I understand, they were getting ready to shoot some more scenes in Washington. They canceled those and brought them down to LA and flew those actors down. So there was going to be more shot in Washington, but that was enough. They went down to LA, they sealed it up. So I can see them just kind of doing something quietly. They own the stages, they go in there every once in a while, shoot something. And I think whatever it is, it's going to be nothing like we expect.
It'd be interesting. How the Roadhouse has deteriorated with all the drug kids and stuff like that. Wouldn't that be weird if it would happen to the Double R, because Peggy Lipton's no longer there? So it's now become this creepy, it degenerates, and the creepy drug denizens invade, and it's no longer the friendly place because Norma's bright shining presence isn't there anymore to keep it buoyant. That'd be kind of creepy, wouldn't it?
Kevin says, no, this one's for you, Hal. Lee and Wise didn't seem to give anything away at the screen at Columbus. And
they didn't say anything about it.
And you had drinks with Ray Wise, so
I did.
I don't think that I don't think he's involved.
Well, yeah, he did. I think he would have hinted, because he was always the guy the proponent of it, and would always keep that positive outlook. But boy, if he knew anything, he sure wasn't. He was holding it tight to himself. He didn't give any indication. No,
and some of the words he exchanged with you probably would have hinted in one way or the other.
There was a bit of a conflict with the higher ups, let's put it that way.
Well, let's just say that if he was going to get more in another season, I don't think he would be so hard on season 3.
Yeah,
because he would know there's more coming.
Well, he wasn't totally hard on it because he was happy for everybody, like he was happy for Cheryl. He was just disappointed that he wasn't in it more. That was his main gripe. And
I think we were all disappointed,
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can see that stuff on YouTube too. They put some of those panels up from Columbus, so you can find that stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, you know where to find me. This is my channel, Obnoxious Anonymous. Thank you so much for watching. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, email. Everything's in the show notes below. Thank you so much for watching. And obviously, we're going to follow this very, very closely and carefully. And hopefully there's more news, because wouldn't that be cool to re-experience the summer of 2017 all over again?
More to come. Meanwhile...
And also, I'm working on my project, my fan film called Queen of Hearts. So you can continue to watch me on this channel lose my mind while I try to make that thing. So next year could literally be like the year of Twin Peaks, between my project and whatever else this is, and that could be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward. We all need. I think we all could use a really great, happy year. So I'm looking forward to 2020.
Agreed.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and we will see you soon. Take care. Bye.